Good evening, everyone. My name is Vidyaratha Kissoon. When Kesra asked me for my ticket, I was like, oh, ticket, because I did try to do a thing. And then, of course, I smiled, because this is my phone, right? And I'll be reading from paper, right? So I probably am not supposed to be here, really. And of course, I don't know if any one of you were born before 1990, or how many of you were born after 1990, before 1990. So I'm conscious that I'm really an anachronism in this weird space. And I'm very nervous and anxious. And I'm very grateful to Melissa Thorne, who has been counseling me through my anxiety about having to do this presentation this evening. So I'm very grateful to the team, Eldon, and the team. Congratulations to all of you for putting on this event, which I hope will be annual, the whole devX event. I still haven't wrapped my head around some of it. I think a lot of us haven't wrapped my head around how the exhibitions work and how the different things work and so on. But I guess that's a work in progress. I'm grateful as well for Melissa for identifying and asking about us to talk about free and open source software. Something that we don't talk about a lot in Guyana. There are ad hoc uses, and many of us use free and open source software. We're probably not even aware that we're doing it. So free and open source software refers to software which is not necessarily free of cost, but really software for which you have the licenses to redistribute, to modify, to adapt, to make additions to, and to run on any platform. So things like Linux, PHP, Python, there's a whole range, whether it's at the application end, server end. So we have a range of tools available to us, which gives us opportunities to not get bound and tied to proprietary systems. Now, so this evening, what I thought I would do is, rather than me talk, is to ask 3 people who use free and open source software in their work, and who can give an idea of the range of tools that are available. And this, of course, is very brief because each one will speak for about 10 minutes, then we have a conversation. Then, of course, there's some people who will be exhibiting, I think, later on, who can probably hone in on some of the specific things that you'll hear about. So how the format for this evening will go is we have the 3 presenters, and then we have some time for question and answer. And hopefully, we've been given an hour max for the entire time. Now, in Guyana, we've had different ad hoc. It's free and open source software. It's something that isn't organized. It's usually organized around communities and so on. In Guyana, there've always been interest groups, usually very low key, no aggressive marketing. We've had Software Freedom Day being celebrated on and off, usually depending on how much energy I have, and different people doing things in their own corner. So we don't have generally an awareness. Last year, the Ministry of Public Telecommunications convened, they asked me to do a draft policy, to work on a draft policy for free and open source use in the public sector. And that policy was submitted as draft. I tried to inquire what has happened since, and all these things go. It's 8 months since, and I haven't really had a reply. So in addition to issues of cost, depending on the kind of software you use, there are different benefits, of course, to countries, because it builds our capacity, it builds independence, it builds capacity, it opens up opportunities for us to, depending on the skills and so we have available, to use more tools to do the work that we have to do. So the first panelist this evening is Jumal Sam, and Jumal is wonderful. He said yes as soon as I contacted him last year. Jumal works with Blender, and he is working at IntellectStorm. And Jumal describes himself as an enthusiastic animator and illustrator. And Jumal, if I'm correct, your background is in art, not necessarily computer science, right? So I just wanted to bring that these are people who are not necessarily IT programmers doing a degree in computer science, but from user end. And Jumal is going to do 10 minutes I know time is limited, but you can get Jumal and IntellectStorm another time to do a whole day on Blender. So Jumal, over to you. Please give him a round of applause because he said yes. Short notice.
All right, good evening, everyone. Like Vidya said, I'm presenting on Blender as a free and open source software. And, okay, that being said, let's talk to it. All right, so number one question: who am I? Right. Name: Jumal Sam. Age: 19 years old. Maybe hard to believe, but yeah. Yeah, I've been working as a 3D designer and animator for IntellectStorm since last year, September. And it seems like a short time, but it was always so long. Like, when you're learning animation, it's yeah. And I enjoy basic things like music, art, all the fun stuff. Photography, love it. Right. Next question, what is animation? Right. Animation is the process of taking the life out of every image or video. I'm kidding. Right. Animation is actually the complete opposite. Animation is the process of making the illusion of movement, if you understand what I mean. Making something seem to move when it's actually pretty still in real life. Yeah. And the illusion of change by means of rapid succession of sequential images with minimum difference. That is, images that are slightly different, playing one after the other. All right, example. I think everyone has seen this before. This is the very foundation of animation, and a perfect example of putting just a few images together to get such a smooth video. Just a simple example. Now, there are various types of animation. Traditional animation, as known by Disney. Vector-based or 2D animation. 3D. There is motion graphics, used in a lot of advertisements these days, and stop motion, my favorite one too. Now, I'm not about to go through all these different steps because I know time is limited. So, the main one, 3D animation. Right. So, that brings us to this big question: what is Blender? Blender is really, it's a 3D platform. It's more so, it's not just for animation, it is versed in, there you can create films, you can create architectural visualizations. The possibilities are endless, and it is still growing. And with that point made, that is, I think, one of the best benefits of open source software, is that there is so much room for growth, like constantly. The last update was just a few months ago, February. And the next update after that is scheduled for probably next Monday. So there is constant growth. It's always growing. All right, now, down in IntellectStorm, of course, we like to push boundaries. And we like to show that things are more than they seem.
That's what so, you gotta see it every morning.
You kind of alluded. Yeah, so we put Blender to the test, the ultimate test. And the first project we did was to create a few pieces of architecture, as shown in these. Yeah. So this is actually a kitchen, one of the very first models that I've made as a 3D artist. So this is, it's good. It's good. But one of the best things about this whole Blender that I'm talking about is it provides you opportunities to grow. And because it's open source, there are millions of resources out there to learn this, learn that. YouTube. There are developers all across the world constantly developing, and as they develop, you will find new tutorials. So you can literally keep up to date with everything that is going on. Moving down the line. Secondly, so we realized that it was good for architecture, yeah, but we weren't satisfied. We wanted to see how, well, what more we can do with this blender. And it so happened that an advertisement, we were doing an advertisement for a store that sells baby products. And thus we came up with this character. I'm sure a lot of, well, if you were there at my last presentation, you would know Baby Antonio. And, yeah. You can breathe. Yeah, so Baby Antonio was good, again, but we wanted something more. So we decided to go after something that is more known to people, a more familiar face. David Arthur Granger, His Excellency. Yeah, and this is still a work in progress, but I assure you, you will see it.
You mean the image? Sorry.
Actually, this is the image, this is the 3D model. So, Mr. David Granger, still, we weren't satisfied. Right. So, we thought, how else can we actually push animation out there? Get Guyanese aware of animation, make it a part of our very lives. How can we do that? Then, another project came up. We were called to help in creating a booklet that would tell people about Parliament, but in a different way. Because we know Guyanese are kind of scared of this whole Parliament and political thing, but this book was made to clarify everything about Parliament and make it as fun and as enjoyable for kids as well. And there were 2 booklets, one for adults and one for kids. And as you know, we added animation to it and everything got a bit brighter. We even found that after we started distributing these booklets, the adults even seemed more interested in the kids' version of the book than the adult version. Well, we can totally see why. With animation, everything is better. Right. Next. These are all characters from the book. So we realized that since we have all the freedom in animation and the artistic skills and all of the areas in which we can grow, we use that to our advantage to develop fully functional and ready to animate characters. And it took a while. It did. But it was all worth it. And apart from characters, we came up with various ways in which we can make scenes and environments and try to incorporate places that people kind of are familiar with. That is the parliamentary chamber, in case you didn't know. So, shine on. I'll let that sink in for a bit. Alright. This is actually an idea that I pitched recently, and since we are never really satisfied with what we do, and we always want to push the boundaries, I shot an idea to actually, what if we can create a full 3D animated feature film solely Guyanese? It's still pending, coming along, but I think it can work. Why? Working on this film, we came up with a lot more. Like, the more you work with animation, the more you come up with, the more you learn, the more you can actually showcase. And I actually started to find myself more in animation now than in traditional art. And I think it has a lot more freedom. So this guy here is, okay, I forget his name now. Anyway, he is the leading character for the animated film. I will tell you his name as soon as I remember. This is a very overwhelming crowd. And this would be his antagonist. Okay, so let me not just throw the film out there. I can just give you a quick run through. Alright, so the film is about talent, Guyanese raw talent. And it is aimed to actually reach out to everyone who has any little piece of talent in there. And I mean to include every little type of talent that there is in this film, because I want to speak to the youth of Guyana. I want this film to inspire people to experiment and to play around and to actually lose themselves into their talent and get to a higher place. Because in Guyana we have a lot of talent, we do. I've seen it. But we lack motivation, we lack vision. So this film is intended to inspire these youths, and actually I can see this helping the population at large in the future. Like, I want to see people strive to more than what they can. And to wrap it up, some scenes that we came up with while working on the film. Very known figures. This is the 7 Ponds. You've seen the static block, work in progress. Right. This brings us to the end.